This is a correction for a reverse S-curve in the all-fours position. So with a reverse S-curve, you have a rib hump on the top right-hand side of your back and a thickening or a hump in the lower left-hand side of your back. So to correct those, you're going to put one hand on a book under your left hand and then a block or a book underneath your knee on your right side. We're using about an inch and a half. I recommend that to start with, and you could go a little bit higher if it's not painful in your wrist or your shoulder or into your back. Once you're in this position, you're going to do the cat-cow that you've done before, which is just up and down. This is the sagittal plane correction. It's important to get the breathing working with this, so you're breathing in on the extension and out on the flexion. You're going to do about 3, 5, or 10 repetitions. And if you feel a pinching or a pull into your lower back, you've just gone a little bit too far, and you can slow down the movement, and then you don't need to go as far. Good. And the next correction we're going to do is a top-down frontal plane correction for the upper curve. So the upper curve is going to be like this. The apex is towards me. So if she takes her head down towards the right, we start correcting that upper curve. So she can simply do that. Now for some of you that might just be enough. Gets a little bit of motion into here. However, if you want to exaggerate that a little bit, you lift this elbow up and you start bringing the elbow down towards your hip. And you can see now that we get side bending all the way through that upper thorax. Again, repetitions, 3, 5, 10 repetitions of this. Okay, great. Now, so the top curve is apex towards me, but the bottom curve is apex this side. So it's shaped like this. In order to correct that, we would take this foot here and we would be leaning like this. So she's correcting from the bottom up in the frontal plane this lower curve. It's important though with this not to move the upper curve too much, or not to move through your shoulders too much. Good. Pop the knee back down. So we've done the sagittal plane with the cat-cow, and we've done the frontal plane with those two movements. The last plane is the transverse plane. So the rib hump is on this left side here, and we will be taking this hand through this gap, dropping these ribs down. And so she's pulling this rib hump around and allowing those muscles and bones and ligaments to stretch and giving them a sense of where the correct position is. Good. 3, 5, 10 repetitions of this. Again, any pain, you're going to a little bit too fast or going a little bit too far. Okay, you can stop there. Now, if you're paying attention, you'll be wondering where the transverse plane rotation is for the bottom up. In this one, it's actually a little bit difficult to get that movement, so we don't do that. We just do the top-down drivers. So that explains why we're not doing it for the bottom up.